Okay, so these are a couple of tricks for doing an oral syringe. I was hoping to have a dewormer and I forgot to pick one up because the dewormers have a specific smell that horses can detect about 6 feet away. So when you actually have to deworm, they do know the difference. But if they're really bad for deworming, and notice I say deworming. It's a pet peeve of my sister, the vet, to say I wormed my horse. That means you gave your horse worms. So what we're doing is we're deworming horses. And since I don't have a dewormer on hand today, which I will show eventually, I'm using a digestive aid, which is just prebiotics and probiotics. So it was just a supplement I happen to have in my tack room. He's never had it before. I have no idea whether he's gonna like it or not like it. I know you're getting impatient. We're gonna do a hack on that too. Oop. So I guess it's not a paste, it's pretty liquid. It's been sitting out here. Oh, things like that always happen. So I'm gonna see if he likes it or doesn't like it. Usually they're pretty skeptical when we want to put a syringe in their mouth because they've had enough doses of dewormer that they typically know something not so tasty is coming. So I always have a horse loose with the halter on, but not tied to a cross tie or tied to anything, because if they don't like it and they start moving their feet, you don't need a pullback on top of the problem you already have. So what I'm going to do is stand face to face. Let me turn a little sideways. And if they can smell the dewormer, the first thing I'm going to do is take the dewormer, and this is just a supplement, like I said, and he doesn't seem to dislike the smell. You can see he's a little skeptical. Oh, looking at it sideways. So I'm just going to rub him on the side of the lips with the container until he relaxes, right? If he threw his head up at this step, I would just reach up as far as I could and continue with exactly what I'm doing. I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't try to hold his head down. He's being really good. I'm going to give it from this side. So I'm just going to rub the lips. He doesn't seem to care too much. So if they're this relaxed and they can accept the lip rubbing with the container, then you just sort of work it in the corner of the mouth and in it goes. So he gets a little digestive aid today that we didn't expect. There we go. But he doesn't seem to mind the taste too bad. He's not swallowing. So if the horse is particularly bad with taking an oral syringe for medication or actual dewormers, you can use electrolytes, you can use these digestive things, you can use different supplements that maybe have an unusual smell and practice giving an oral dewormer that way. You can also fill up a regular big syringe about this size with treats. You can use applesauce, you can use sugar water, you can use molasses. And so once you stick it in there, they actually get a really good treat. And some horses are great for that, but as soon as they smell the dewormer, whoo, they know the difference, right? So if they're that smart and they definitely know the difference in the smell, then you just use this technique. And then you rub again after they took it. So especially if he had thrown his head up and gotten really upset and blah, 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 didn't like the taste, then I want to end again by just rubbing the empty container on the lips. And I'm holding the halter loosely, so if he did toss his head, he's not going to whack me. But I want to keep doing that until he's completely relaxed at the end. Right? Yes, good boy. And I've tried different strategies with horses that were really bad for it. And like I said, a treat afterwards, sometimes they just spit it out because they really hate the taste of the dewormer, no matter how much it's masked with apple flavor or whatever, they still know. So when it comes right down to it, if you're patient, even if he was high-headed and trying to escape backwards, I would just follow him without pulling on him, without really correcting him. I would just follow him and keep rubbing the mouth and rubbing the mouth and rubbing the mouth. I've had some horses, I do that for 20 minutes before they finally go, you're not going away, but you're not making me take the dewormer. So when they start to voluntarily lower the head a little bit, can stop the feet, can just bring the energy down, only then do you kind of pop it right in the corner of the mouth and shoot it in there, right? And then when you're done and they go, I knew it, I knew it, I knew it, you stay and you keep rubbing and you keep waiting for relaxation so that you end with a more positive experience, even with a bad taste in their mouth.